Part 34. After my death, the villain blackened again. Author, Ben Gongwei Pang. Chapter 336. God's consciousness turned into a little swallowing beast, and he looked up in surprise and looked at the little sapling in front of him. The little female's body is obviously weak and wounded. It is not branchy and leafy, and looks really pathetic. As a little bit of his attached energy was injected into the body of the small tree, he immediately noticed that there was a pest in the female's body, and the guy had been devouring the female's energy. His energy turned into a hand and lifted the so-called pest from the female body. The pest was in the form of a brick, and it looked trembling. The brick is connected to the body of the small tree. If he kills the brick, it is estimated that the small tree will also be injured. So after a tangled moment, his paw pulled the brick. After a while, the brick was swallowed into a small soil embryo by the devouring beast. Of course, this small earth embryo has been slightly improved by the swallowing beast. The eyes are large and the cute people see that they love it. Looks countless times better than himself, but the devourer is not very satisfied with this reduced version and beautified version. No matter how you look at it, you don't feel that you have squeezed out this reduced version. So although it was quickly pinched, he was always doing minor repairs, and as a result, he didn't feel bored in this place at all. When his fingers were tired, he looked up at his own tree. Every beast likes to use beast shape to intersect, match, and especially when it comes to emotion. The devouring beast has actually used countless methods to try to make the female body itself appear unconsciously. He used to think that the little female was really good, and every way he tried failed to reveal the original shape of his little female. Fortunately now, I'm slightly fortunate. Fortunately, when my little female is excited, she doesn't have the habit of exposing her body. Otherwise, he doesn't know how to get down. Also, can't sleep yet. The last point is the most important. Swallowing the beast while pinching the clay figure, he looked up at his own small tree, and it seemed that he would dispel the idea of using the original tree in the future. Not only must we dispel, but we must also prevent our own small tree from suddenly turning into its original shape when it pops. The brick was swallowed by the swallowing beast, and finally became a reduced size, cute version of the swallowing beast. The little figurine's eyelashes were deliberately pinched long, and then he swallowed his lips with satisfaction. He thought it was a small surprise for the female, so he didn't leave any sign of swallowing the beast to come here. It was easy to enter the chaotic space, but immediately found out that he swallowed the heavenly beast, he could not go out. Because Xiaoshusha fell into a drowsiness, the chaos space was in a state where he could only enter but not go out. Fortunately, he is just a trace of little knowledge. Although he lost contact with his own body, he should soon be able to establish a connection again. In the golden nest, the beast shape of the swallowing beast lies on the big bed, and in the center of his curled body is a sleeping song. This female is too weak, and her body is shuddering from time to time during a coma. He twitched his female tongue and tried to soothe her in this way. The consciousness that belongs to the heavenly beast that entered the chaotic space of Yanj not only did not notice Yanj, but even the chickens who were watching ghost films in the space of eccentric people. The film saw the excitement again became a black screen, and a few characters slowly appeared on the black screen. More episodes can be unlocked after the system is upgraded. Please upgrade the system first. After my death, the villain blackened again. Author, Ben Gongwei Pang. Chapter 337. Is this black screen again? The chicken yelled after a short period of persecution, "Look, sleep, I'm not alive. Yanj is still in a coma. He can't go to Yanj to cry and can only squat in the corner to smoke. The seeds have been scooped up, no upgrades, and no more seeds will be available. The first-rate good smoke is gone, now it is smoking a smoke pot, the tobacco leaves inside are very inferior and garbage." The chicken coughed a few times and coughed a few times, and the tears came out. How can this be described? Hemp eggs, UCANT even play dramas in the days when UCANT talk, what else is going on? When Yanj was awake, her body was soft and she didn't have a little strength, her bones were broken, sore, and she felt like she was broken into pieces and reorganized again. The chicken sighed, the energy of swallowing the heavenly beast is pure and belongs to the energy of heaven and earth. If you want to swallow the energy of this heaven and earth, a little tree demon will find it hard. Yanj is uncomfortable about it. Rarely has such a chance to swallow the heavenly beast, she will continue even if it hurts. The chicken said, if the devourer finds out that you are stealing his energy, he will definitely eat you. Yanji chuckled, do you think he didn't notice it? Such things as being yin/yang, and still such a domineering yin and yang method, can be detected by a demon, not to mention that this is a devouring beast. The chick did not speak. Instead, he said slowly, he just happens to be in / I am his antidote. Even if he knows that I am stealing his energy, this energy is nothing to him, so he will open one eye and close one. Chicken, how do I think he's not as smart as you say? This guy looks quite mentally retarded now. Yanj, he just didn't inherit the blood and forgot about the past, IQ is still online. As soon as the words came down, devouring the tongue's tongue froze Yanj's face, and drooled her face. Yanji was afraid that this guy would continue to sting, and he glared at this guy with open eyes and said weakly, don't, shit. Before the words were finished, he was swallowed again by the swallowing beast. Yan Song is angry. Mom, she took back what she said just now. This guy is not only mentally retarded, but also the best among them. Partially swallowing the beast did not feel that his female had a small emotion. He rolled all the picked fruits with his tail to Yanj's mouth, and stared at her brightly. Don't talk about raising her hand, Yan is struggling to talk, so she squints and says to the devouring beast, don't hit me anymore, I want to sleep for a while. The devouring beast wobbled his tail, and there was a cooing sound in his throat, and the voice was cheerful and soothing. He slumped, the tender face of the little female attracted his tongue again and slipped away, and he secretly scratched the little female's face. He thought that the little female did not notice it, like a child who had done bad things. The female carefully pressed back into his neck fossa. Words of song. She was completely speechless. The sequelae brought to Yanj by running the exercises this time is that she has been soft for a long time without any energy. Not to mention cultivation, she is struggling all the way. Every time he swallowed the courtship, she fell asleep in the continuous action of this guy. It's not too boring, because she's not very physically fit now, she can't be strong for a long time. This also led to the fact that she used to be on top, but now she can lie down and lie down, even if she can't lie down, she must let the devouring beast hold her in her arms. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. After my death, the villain blackened again. Author, Ben Gongwei Pang. Chapter 338. The devouring beast likes soft females who always lie in his arms, which makes him very satisfied. Therefore, the words like this make him more passionate during this time. Can't absorb energy, Yanj has no patience for such things. After all, this guy's technology is too bad, and she doesn't want to tune this guy, so as not to be cheaper. So in order to consume this guy's energy, let the devouring beast leave her enchantment behind her and plan to walk around. Once out of bounds, Yanj was so surprised that many people would not die if they didn't do anything. Nine tails who have lost a once, this guy is still waiting outside the enchantment. Of course, this time, not only Jue, but also a woman who is inseparable from him, and countless subordinates with low hands. The explorers of these guys have been searching around, and Jue is rubbing his ears in the tent with that charming woman, doing that kind of thing. Yang's consciousness cannot be released today, and she didn't understand at first that the tent was an old acquaintance. I just feel that the swallowing beast is outside the tent and it is rare to sneak a hole in the tent with its claws. Speaking of, this guy's consciousness can also feel the inside. Why do you need to open a hole to see? The doubts in Yang's heart had just risen, and the devouring beast's tail rolled her up and placed her at the opening of the cave. When she raised her eyes, she saw a man and a woman rolling on the ground inside the tent. These two are very playful. The man poured all the red wine on the woman, and then half knelt like a knight, respectfully added those wines on the woman. Of course, drunkards don't mean wine, because soon women are begging men. When I saw the man's face in the tent, Yan Ji silently ordered a wax for Jiwei. The men and women in the tent have been playing tricks, presumably the staying power does not work, so use the tricks to make up. The devouring beast has silently opened another hole for itself, one eye is staring into the tent, and one eye is staring at the reaction of its own little female. It turns out that there are so many tricks. The devouring beast is like a child who is easy to learn. He automatically converts everything he sees into his own female and herself. Then he felt that it was his little female seductive. The men and women in the tent are too ugly, even more ugly when doing such things. If it weren't for the tricks, he would have slapped the men and women in the tent into meatloaf. Ninetail didn't feel the danger at all, and he liked watching women change from a high-ranking imperial sister to a desire-girl with his servant. The women in the world are generally cheap, but he likes to see the cheapness of the women's original shape, touching his fingers on the woman's body, and his hoarse voice said in her ear, "Those of you, still haven't found anything, is it because of those equipment is not advanced enough?" He can feel the old nest of the devouring heaven beast in this one, but even if he now has two tails, he can't open the enchantment, so he can only rely on these so-called high-tech. Devouring the heavenly beast and the woman left, maybe he would have forgotten this old nest. He spent a lot of energy in order to find this devastating nest. This is the most advanced explorer in the central area. In order to get this explorer, many of us have died, and we have scrapped a mech. The woman snorted softly, her face flushed and softened in nine-tailed. "Boss, there is indeed a problem with this place. If I can't find it before sunset today, I'll ask them to come here." She kissed Jiwei and said, "If we find the beast this time, we can sell it for a good price, and I will share it with you." Jiwei sneered from the bottom of his heart. In his eyes, gold and silver were vulgar things, and he wanted to swallow the magical artifacts in the beast of heaven. After my death, the villain blackened again. Author, Ben Gongwei Pang. Chapter 339. Although he was disdainful at the bottom of his heart, he had deep affection on Ninetail. When he interrupted the woman, he lowered his head and bit her chest, and said softly, "I don't want any money, I just want you to be happy." The woman's voice rang again. After swallowing the beast, I understood it, so the fox in the tent wanted to get rid of his old nest. With his tail curling his little female back on his back, he leaped into the tent, clapping his claws at the men and women still sticking together. Jiwei noticed the arrival of the devouring beast for the first time. He threw the woman around him to devouring beast, and turned to the original form, and wanted to escape. When the woman was swallowed by the beast, she stepped on it, and there was no breath. The devouring beast roared, and the long tail fluttered, and the nine-tailed tail that tried to escape hit the ground. Nine-tailed shouting, big brother, I have no idea of playing in your nest. These humans are very greedy. I saw you there last time, so I want to find you, and I will always help you. The enchantment, don't get me wrong, I am your little brother, big brother, how can I help human beings to pry at the corner of their own house? There can never be such a time. He had a terrible pain, but he was not satisfied with his movements. He resisted the pain of the broken ribs, and his two claws hugged one foot of the devouring beast and continued to sell miserably. "Boss, You do know how horrible these humans are. I see fight them, I can only sell beasts and snakes, and wait for you to come and save me. Good guys, you finally showed up, really live up to my weight. By the way, do you have a stone skin? Is there anything I can help you with? I have a lot of action movies here that are perfect for you. Since the last time Zhu Wei saw the woman on the back of the devouring beast, he knows that these classic films he has hidden can come in handy at critical moments. Sure enough, after hearing the last sentence of Nine-Tail, the eyes of devouring heaven beasts narrowed, but they did not continue to pat the Nine-Tail. Zhu Wei was very interested, and immediately took those action movies, including the movie watching machine, out of his pocket and handed them to the devouring respectfully. The swallowing beast swallowed and swallowed everything. Although he really wanted to stop this guy, Zhu Wei shrank his head and didn't say a word. He vaguely guessed that there might be another kind of life in the stomach of Tian Xiao. He smiled and took the time to say hello to the woman on the back of the devouring beast. "Hello sister, you are really a good match with the big brothers, congratulations, and congratulations, I wish you a precious son soon." He was blessed with such joy and sincerity. The woman and the swallowing beast were expressionless. Zhu Wei laughed for a long time and couldn't laugh anymore. It's too embarrassing to be in front of people who don't laugh at him. So why didn't this woman fight with the swallowing beast? It was so perfect to be in love and kill each other. Zhu Wei hasn't even had time to curse in circles. He has been smirking at the devouring beast. "Big brother, you have a good vision, and only big brothers like you can be worthy of a mule." He loved to hear the words. He raised his head proudly and hummed, "Do you think anyone will come up to see a sow like you?" Nine Tails, he has never been to a sow. Okay, he still has a little bit of discipline. After my death, the villain blackened again. Author, Ben Gong Wei Pang. Chapter 340. "Boss," Zhu Wei said with a deliberate cry, "not everyone is as lucky as Das to meet a fairy like Daiseo." The devouring beast interrupted him, "Did you finish?" Nine-Tailed nodded uneasily. "Devouring heaven beasts, is there something to honor Lao Tzu?" Zhu Wei nodded and shook her head. Under the devastating eyes of the devouring beast, he nodded decisively. "Then I took out all the love/funny things in my own bag, and handed them to the devouring respectfully. This is all I collected to want to honor you. Take it apart, all good things, you. The devouring beast interrupted him, "Gone." Zhu Wei nodded, "It's gone, but if you want, I'll help you find it." "Okay." "Zhu Wei, what does that mean? Do you want it, or can he get rid of it?" "Damn, I always feel that the more advanced devouring beasts make him look softer and the legs are softer. He really wants Marie to roll away. He won't fight the idea of this guy's old nest again. He wants to roll away how far? Devouring beast, when will it be delivered?" "What?" Nine-Tailed stunned, and immediately responded to the meaning of swallowing the beast. "This swallowing beast is even better. It is too stubborn, and it does not fit the image of swallowing beast. In his heart, there are 10,000 grass and mud horses galloping, but he still smiles. Well, I'll send you all the new toys of this era when I collect them together." The devouring beast was not at all confused by his words. "How long will it take?" 1 month. 1 month is nothing to the demon. Zhu Wei thinks that this time should also be within the scope of the devouring beast. Anyway, he just said such a time, and when it's over, I will never come back in my life. Zhu Wei had a good idea in his heart, and said sincerely, "I will come back in the fastest time, and I will not delay the harmonious time between the big brother and the sister-in-law." When he said this, he secretly squinted at the woman on the back of the devouring beast. He knew the thick skin of the devouring beast, but the woman was obviously thicker. This kind of shy topic, the woman did not mean to be shy at all. What is special is a pair of heaven and earth. Zhu Wei's mind was determined, and he would never provoke these two extremely cheeky guys in the future. Go ahead, then Devourer lifted his paw and patted it on Zhu forehead. At first, Zhu, who felt that he was extremely clever, had been laughing and laughing in his heart. The devouring beast left a mark in his spirit, and he had an ominous premonition. So before leaving, he was weak and asked Devourer again, if I have something halfway, I can't get back in a month, then, that. At that time you will explode. Devouring Heaven's beast rolled his eyes and hummed impatiently, get out. Zhu looked for words in general for help. Why is Mama this beast so treacherous? He only hopes that this woman can help him to say a word on their fate. Zhu's move completely annoyed the swallowing beast. He snarled in his throat, swept his tail, and swept Ninetail into the sky. All the humans around the enchantment who were still at the entrance to the enchantment were swallowed up by swallowing beasts. It is estimated that even if they landed, these people will smash into meat pie. Jinwo and female, this is the inviolable forbidden area to swallow the heavenly beast. Whoever dares to hit him with these two ideas, he will let these guys know what it means to get out. Because of the toys sent by Zhu, the devouring beast returned to the golden nest with his female and studied it over and over again. Of course, these props also need the cooperation of the female. Fortunately, his female is soft and sensible, and obviously curious about such things. Yanj, I have no strength to resist. Not curious at all. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. After my death, the villain blackened again. Author, Ben Gongwei Pang. Chapter 341. The weak chicken suggested the song, I have a good suggestion. Say. Would you like to take in the heart of swallowing the beast? Think about it, every time you want to eat your dead enemy and fall in love with you, you have a sense of accomplishment. Do you have the heart to swallow the heavenly beast? Yanj asked. He did fall in love with me, but that's all. The words in love with me and in love with me are different, and their meanings are quite different. The domineering president who recently fell in love with a TV show like me has felt that this would is a bit pessimistic. In fact, there is still hope. Even overbearing presidents will like the silly white sweet woman with no brain and no chest. Although the wood is not chest, it still has a brain. Zhu was outside the enchantment before the 1-month deadline. This time he brought a lot of fun real-life simulation props to the devouring beast, and he also strongly suggested to devour the expedition to go to the stars. He plunged the star-studded smallpox, swallowed the beast, took the toy he gave, narrowed his eyelids and said to the guy, go away when you're done. Zhu hastily said, boss, you haven't taken back your mark left in my consciousness. Keep it, said the devouring beast, I'll wait for you when I'm bored. Ninetail. Alas, he was unwilling to swallow the beast to find him to play. He now saw the guy's legs become weak subconsciously, the blood pressure from the beasts made him unable to resist at all. Zhu turned and left, listening to the thunderous roar in his mind, look at Laozi's female in the future, Laozi digs your eyes. The sound was like a raging thunder blasting into Zhu's sea of knowledge, which caused him to spit out blood immediately, and the next moment he knew high opera and fell into darkness. Zhu's pain is better than death, but after consciousness, he touched his claws and found that his two baby tails were still there. He finally breathed a sigh of relief. This devouring beast, real Nima took that flat-breasted woman as a baby. Wow. Ma Dan, swallowing the beast is too uncharacteristic when it comes to choosing women. The devourer doesn't understand the so-called style. He has been addicted to playing props recently, and he is tired of the female side all day. Seeing her white, tender, and soft female wearing those golden clothes, she felt very happy. Oh, he didn't like the prop clothes brought by Zhu. According to the style of those clothes, he used his claws to pull the gold a little bit into silk thread. The hard gold was pulled into a soft skin-friendly thread by his tireless pulling. He used these silk threads to woven gold for his female clothes. Can, it's shiny and looks great. His favorite now is to help women make clothes and then help women get dressed. He also made several golden little hats to wear on the female. Oh, and gold jewelry. My own female is so beautiful. He wanted to remove all the gold from his golden nest and hang it on the female. As the song of the heroine of the incident, if she can have strength, she will absolutely swallow the swallowing beast. When devouring the heavens beast gave her another golden flower and inserted it in her head, she asked him, "Do you like more gold, or do you like me more?" This question instantly made the chicken mad. As a male, the most annoying thing is that the female asks this kind of brainless question, would, I always feel that you are a bit contrived. After my death, the villain blackened again. Author, Ben Gongwei Pang. Chapter 342. Yan Ji ignored the words of the chickens, and she felt that the chickens seemed to treat the beast as a dish too much. To be honest, before sleeping and swallowing the heavenly beast, this guy was mysteriously like a towering mountain in front of Yanj. However, since this guy fell asleep, Takayama has become a small pit, or the kind of pit man, and the mystery of swallowing the beast has become dregs. This kind of problem is very naive and boring for the chicks. But for the devouring beast, it is really a tangled problem. So swallowing the heavenly beast and hearing his head tilted, he thought very seriously for a long time, and then said, "The little tree that wears gold, and gold is the favorite." Yan Ji is not satisfied with this answer at all. "So you don't like it if I don't wear gold?" "I like it better when Xiaoshusha doesn't wear gold." In order to prove his words, those who swallowed the heavenly beast stripped the gold of their own females, and then came to a battle that proved his endurance. Afterwards, the devouring beast was so proud that it licked a few females who were already asleep. Sure enough, nothing can't be solved with a single night's sleep. He thought that such a serious problem required 2 sleeps to flick the little female past. The little female in his family is so simple and naive. Originally, she had a weak speech in her body recently. Because of this toss, she was drowsy for a few days, but she was so scared that she swallowed the heavenly beast and licked her in her arms almost every time. Swallowing the beast feels that the little female is too weak, so after his estrus period, he intends to take his little female to walk around the world, looking for good nutrition and supplements. Make up for your own little female. To make this guy not toss her body, of course, Song of Song is extremely happy. She is in the golden nest every day, except that gold is gold in her eyes, and she felt that her eyes were almost blinded by those golden lights. The devouring beast did not live a low-key life this time. He was not assured that his little female left her sight, so she walked with her female everywhere. Even if he became a human and put on those popular human radiation protection suits, he put his female on his shoulder. In a bling, and riding a handsome man's words, wherever he goes is the focus. They went to several planets. No matter where you go or what delicious food you encounter, the devourer is the first to pass the food and drink to the little female riding on his shoulder. When the little female sleeps at night, the devouring beast uses gold to make clothes for her little female. In the daytime, when he saw the beautiful clothes worn by others, he would knit a set for his own female. Although Yanj is wearing a golden dress every day, even her hat is golden, but her clothes, hats, and shoes are new styles and new patterns every day, so there is no time to repeat them. The chicken is almost envious of this, and it wants to make itself a new dress and hat of Huan Can every day. Can you abduct this devouring beast? I think he will be very promising to be our 2 clothes consultants in the future. Although he made some mistakes, it is not bad to make up for the work. Yanj sneered, "You are not afraid of being eaten by him, but I am very afraid." Putting such a time bomb beside her, she was afraid that she would be swallowed by the devouring beast when she slept. After my death, The Villain Blackened Again. Author, Ben Gongwei-Pang. Chapter 343. Yanj and the devouring heavens wave in the golden nest every day, and have long missed the beginning of the interstellar era, which is the most turbulent time. Nowadays, this era has stabilized, and most of the planet's thriving school is in harmony. Yanj has gone through this era more than once, so this is not a surprise. What surprised her was that although the devouring beast had lost her memory, she didn't seem curious about this era. They were able to successfully pass the security check of Star Sky Harbor, both of which have prepared the identity chips of the two people in advance. Yanj asked him, "You look like you understand this." The devouring beast thought it was a female compliment to him. He kissed the pro-female and said, "Well, humans are more complicated, but don't worry, I am there." In fact, he had already talked to the Sow Fox before leaving, including these chips that were given to him by the Sow Fox. However, because the Sow Fox looked at her female's desperation, he would not brush his face in front of the female. Yan Ji felt that the memory that might be lost by swallowing the beast is not comprehensive, and some of the memory may be retained, but it is only a little bit. On this trip, all the expenses of swallowing the beast were funded by that saucy fox. As for the unified currency of the interstellar, swallowing the heavenly beast does not feel good at all, so it is thrown when it is used up, and then contact Jiwei when needed. Jiwei worked so hard to save so little private house money, it was not enough to swallow the cost of the beast. If he hadn't found a woman to be wrapped/raised, it is estimated that he couldn't even afford to sell it. Going on like this is really not a solution. Jiwei especially wanted to settle this guy once and for all. It was just that he was a little worried that the woman he was looking for this time would still be useless. Women have a bit of voice throughout the planet, this time for a birthday party and a grand banquet at the most famous Sophie restaurant in the world. Sophie's restaurant was originally a retired battleship, and later stayed in the Starry Ocean, and was built by the High Circle to become the most famous and high-end restaurant in StarCraft. Jiwei likes this high circle of humans. Of course, he actually prefers men and women in this circle. Because most of these men and women look good, and have their own characteristics, he enjoys conquering them. Gaze swept around the banquet. A woman wearing a Jinshankan skirt attracted Jiwei's eyes. In the interstellar era, gold is a rare mineral in ancient times, so gold is still a very rare ancient object in some aspects. Maybe others thought that Jinshankan's clothes were dyed, but Jiwei's eyes were so hot that he recognized them at a glance. The woman wore clothes made of gold silk. That's all for gold. Forging gold into silk-woven clothes, it sounds luxurious and meaningful. Jiwei knew almost all the local tyrants in this interstellar. He couldn't imagine which one could be so generous, so that his women wore such precious clothes. Taking a glass of wine from the waiter's plate, Jiwei walked to the woman's side with the glass. "The fruits today are very fresh, but I think the best thing is the plate of Blue Star, Blue Star." "Kind of." At the end of the 9 words, after seeing the woman's face, she suddenly couldn't say anything. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. After my death, the villain blackened again. Author, Ben Gongwei-Pang. Chapter 344. Damn, how could he still meet this woman in such a place? No, this woman is here. What about swallowing the beast? Jiwei immediately looked around. He did not notice the trace of the devouring beast. Without swallowing the heavenly beast, he felt relieved a lot. After all, this woman was with the swallowing heavenly beast, that is to say that the two are together. He just wanted to run. Why is there only a cripple? Jiwei immediately smiled diligently at the sight of the swallowing beast, and Hua's eyes trembled with enthusiasm. Got such a place? Yan Ji narrowed his head and narrowed his eyes to Jiwei. Why, do you have an opinion? Jiwei looked at the song with emotion. I feel bad. I am alone and lonely. I wear so little, I do not know whether it is cold or not. If I take my clothes to change a thicker clothes. Yanj did not respond, and slanted him with a smile. Zhu Wei didn't like the woman's gaze too much, it was too aggressive, it was just like a silent mockery, and when she glanced at him, he wanted to clamp the egg subconsciously. Because of this, all the words he had planned were forgotten because of her glance. This woman, while letting him grit his teeth, really made him feel very itchy. After all, this is a woman who even dares to sleep, and can also sleep. This made him feel very eager to conquer this woman. After all, conquering this woman is tantamount to conquering the devouring beast. He was chopped so many tails by the devourer, and if he could sleep the devourer's woman, this feud would be revenge. Zhu Wei's heart was beating Xiao Juju, and he felt that it was feasible. His eyes glanced at the woman's chest. The woman's chest did not seem to be different from before. It seemed that swallowing the beast did not rub well. It can be seen that the technique of swallowing the beast is not good, so he should easily conquer this woman. Unconsciously straightened his chest, he looked at the woman with a smile, peach blossom eyes squinted, his eyes soft, affectionate, and focused. Hey, last time I said goodbye to you, like devouring the beast rude, you must have suffered a lot with him. The woman in front of her didn't answer, and still stared at him with a smile, probably waiting for him to continue talking. Zhu Wei then continued, well, you might as well follow me at the beginning, I will be gentler than swallowing the heavenly beast and hurt you more than him. If I were, I would never leave the beautiful you standing here alone, swallowing Tianxiao is too selfish and vulgar, and he should be lonely and enduring like this. You will really suffer a lot of wrongs following him. At this time, the fruit table in front of Yanj was suddenly lifted by something and then turned over. Nine Tails couldn't keep talking. He stared at the devouring beast rising from under the table, his brain blank. The human-shaped swallowing beast is very handsome, tall, and burly, with paintbrushes and noses, and his eyes are as sharp as two starstones. He combines the characteristics of fresh meat and tough guys. Junmei is not feminine, but burly but not rough. He stood there, and the combination of the aura and the appearance made him the most shining presence in the field. When the table on which the fruit tray was placed was turned over, everyone's eyes were stunned to see. As a result, they were all attracted by the swallowing beast and could not move their eyes. Devouring heaven beasts ignored other people, he reached out and wrapped the thin waist of Yanj, and sent Yanj to his neck, making Yanj ride up. After my death, the villain blackened again. Author, Ben Gong Wei Pang. Chapter 345. Devouring the beast, he touched the words and wore the feet of the golden boots, and then asked, are the shoes comfortable to wear now? Can't you rub your feet? Yanj shook his head, it's comfortable to wear. Did you take it apart and reknit it? You are so clever. Nine-tailed sweat with a cold sweat all over. Did he just say bad things about devouring beasts? Have. Still none? Why can't he remember at all? Mom, so this devouring beast is under a table, just to help a female get shoes? Hemp eggs, swallowing heavenly beasts to do such things, isn't it a shame? Zhu Wei wanted to escape, but he swallowed the heavenly beast to lock him up, let alone escape. He didn't dare to move now. Damn, knowing that the devouring beast is under the table, the woman still beat him, what a special heart. The devouring beast won the praise of his female, and his lips were raised, making his cold and stern facial features soften instantly. Are you full of little trees? Anything else you want to eat? Yanj feels that he is now the focus of the whole field. The devouring beast was originally very tall. She rode on the neck of the devouring beast. In the crowd, it was a flock of chickens. As far as she could see, everyone stared at her with surprise. She didn't want this kind of attention, so she immediately said, I'm full. Let's go. It's boring here. Okay, I'll take you somewhere else to play. He didn't turn his head to look at Jiwei, but turned around with his female, and walked away. From beginning to end, he didn't seem to notice Jiwei. Jiwei didn't feel relaxed at all. His legs were trembling, and he felt that he would fall to the ground anytime and anywhere. Of course, in fact, what he wants to do at the moment is to pounce on the thigh of the devouring beast and ask for forgiveness. If it was not locked by the devouring consciousness of the devourer, he would never move without a word. A guard came up and blocked the way to swallow the beast. "Sir, please show me your identity information and invitation." Devouring the beast, pointing to the nine-tail behind him, "You ask him to go." The guards knew Nine-Tail. After all, Nine-Tail is also the main staff of today's banquet. He said to the swallowing beast, waited a few steps, and walked in front of Nine-Tail. He said respectfully, "Mr. Nine, just now, do you know?" This respectful tone is very different from the one just talking to the devouring beast. A showy fox dared to put a big tail in front of him. The swallowing beast swipes his mouth, and the next moment it turns into a huge beast shape. His tail flicks hard. Jiwei was caught by his tail and hit the ceiling. The Star Warship, which was not destroyed during the war, was smashed into a hole by the tail of a beast. The people on the battleship screamed and shouted, and instantly became a mess. The devouring beast wrapped himself and the small tree with energy, and he stayed in the starry sky, squinting at the battleship lazily. Nine-tailed card cries on the tail of devouring heavenly beast, big guy forgiving, wow, since I was wrong, I should make such a joke, I thought deem my good buddies, so forget my identity, oh, brother, I was wrong, I will never do this again. The devouring beast entangled him and smashed at the Sofini again. Yan Song on his back dragged his ears at this moment. "Little day, go," she said, "too boring and boring."